Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. We are back from our market trip, our annual trip to Chicago to H&H Americas.
Yeah. Cold.
Yeah.
It was chilly.
Literally,
And
just
windy.
got back last night.
Yeah.
It was nice that it was breezy.
It was nice. It
Yeah.
was a good change. Yeah.
Because as soon as we got off the plane, hot, humid, just
Rainy.
really, sticky. We're going to talk about what we found, and we're also going to talk about how we packed. I got all my stuff still yet to be unpacked. So I'm just going to start with my ever trusty Paddington circle. I got to have a little enamel pin on there. This one is Make Lemonade. And the other thing that I always bring with me is my wallet as well, my Ori wallet. And this particular one, this blue striped one, has a yellow inside, which was really great. I could see what I needed to, and I just have this on me. And this is my purse the whole time I'm traveling.
And you carried it in the market.
And I carried it in market. Yes, I'm going to show you my whole market setup too. And oh look, see, I've even got my bag tags and stuff in there. Yeah, so it's really great because, you know, it's right there, it's in front, you can get to all your stuff, all of that.
I also, this is not mine, I didn't bring mine this morning, but I also have this pink one. And I used it as well as a purse when we went to dinner, but was also able.
You brought knitting.
I was even able to put a project in here.
You had a sweater project
I
in
did.
there?
It was a sweater. I can't
She
remember
just
which
says
one.
it's so
But
nonchalant.
it did fit in here, and maybe it's because I'm in the beginning. But yeah, I do love this crossbody. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this went with me from the second I got on the plane, you know, the whole time. Then I had a different situation I wanted to think about how I was going to do this, and it worked out really well. So this is my travel backpack. I love this. This is the Richmond. Yes, it's the third Ori product I'm showing you already. We love working with Ori. They're all recycled products. We have a close relationship with them, and just really, and I love this one because I've still have yet to unpack. So I got my food snacks on this one. I had my technology stuff, my cords and stuff on this one, and then my hand sanitizer, my Kleenex on that, and then there's even like a little hidden pocket over here, and then two water bottles, and then just lots of room inside. I had 2 projects. I still got my travel pillow, all that in there. And I have a clip-up to keep it off the floor, so when I go into the restrooms, if that hook isn't there, or any other reason I don't want to put it on the floor, though it does have a nice wax canvas bottom. But when you're in the market and this is on your back, I was constantly slinging it around to open it up and get my pad out or put their stuff in there. So that wasn't the ideal situation for market. So this time I outfitted a construction tote, and I was very glad I had it. So I went around market with this construction tote and my Ori crossbody. That way I had my purse there, I had stuff distributed, but I could easily put things in. I could put my water bottle in this outside pocket. I had my knitting with me, and then all sorts of stuff that we loaded up that I weren't really, but I'll start pulling out, including the invoices, all that good stuff. So that was my bag situation, including 2 projects in Billy's that I just wanted to share with you. Other thing about this bag, it's indigo, and I had a customer once tell me that their jeans rubbed off on their light colored interior in their car. I've never had that.
I've had that happen. Yeah.
I didn't have a light colored car, but I was thinking about what I was wearing. I didn't want the indigo to rub off on my sweaters. I was a little worried about that because it would be days of walking with it. So I took the leather handles off and put it in the washer, and it's fine.
And it's fine.
Yeah, and I even took a damp rag and rubbed on it, and nothing came off and all that. So that's what's great about these bags is you can put them in the washer.
And it stayed on your shoulder very nicely.
Yeah,
I have to say.
right.
I was kind of jealous.
I didn't feel like it would kept falling down.
Yeah.
So if you are not a backpack girl or boy and you want a tote, this one is really great with all the pockets on the outside.
So this is my backpack. It's the Ori large in red.
Bantry. Mm-hmm.
Do we call it red? What do we call it?
I think it's cranberry.
So I also have my clipper right here. I love that's very handy, and it's neat. It's nice because you can, like, we would go to dinner or something. You could take it off the big backpack and put it on something else. Project if you just want it hanging on the table. And I'm bedazzled with my hands. Yeah. And what's inside? Did you?
Tell something you got inside.
So I did have 3 projects in here. We're not talking about projects yet, right?
We're just going to ramble a little bit. It's going to include market, travel, projects.
Yep. So I had 3 projects in here. This is what I carried it on the plane like that, as well as when we were at market. I think I walked around just in case I got bored of one. This was my little Notion bag. Vintage
tea towels made out of vintage tea towels.
So it was perfect. I didn't stuff it too much, but y'all want to know what's in here?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what
so this is different than what
Correct.
you just have at home.
Correct. This is what I thought I might need. So tape, because you're putting the pattern inside and out. I thought they might fall off. My gauge. Can y'all see that? The gauge.
We will get a collection together where you
Yes.
can see all this.
Of course, a tape measure. I had my awesome tool. Actually, I might have had 2 of them in there with a hook. I can't see that far, so I can't tell if I can see it. Let's see what else. Of course, I had a pen.
We have lots watching. Thank you, guys.
I had
You got Ringos. You've got.
And I think I had some other sizes in here just in case. I think I cleaned it out last night, but I had some of the opening ones in there too, just in case. And this was nice and small, so. Okay, I had that. I had a set of pen. I had, of course, a couple. I didn't even use these, I don't think. I was afraid to pull them out and bother somebody.
I know what you mean.
The smell.
Yeah.
I love them, but anyway, so I brought 2 just in case. And then, of course, I had brought a couple of the stitch holders, circular stitch holders, different lengths, just in case, for sleeves or trying it on or all that kind of shenanigans. And then I have some magnifying glasses in here. And then this was one of our sheets.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't bring the scissors. But why I think
because this is in your carry-on.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Some the magnet keeper, needle keeper or something, because I could bring these little guys that have my the key to tightening my needles and a darning needle. Something like that.
Because you got your
That way it's just
interchangeables
not
on there
floating
too.
around. Yeah. I had a project that I was changing the tips off of every 6 rows. So anyway, and then I had patterns. Well, for the most part, patterns which I don't usually do, I folded and put it in here in each project. And then I had our little paperwork for the market, and that's it. And I have my wallet in here. So this was a great bag. I was telling Cadence when I was wearing it, like, sometimes we have to bend over and pick something up, and then your backpack comes over your head. This sat real snug on my back, so I liked it. It didn't do a lot of wishy.
And you can adjust it too, so that it can sit. Like, I like it to hit my lower back.
Yeah.
And I like that all their backpacks have these handles that you can grab it.
And you can just clip it shut right there. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show one of my projects. This is the one that went with me throughout the day because it was my smallest. So, and we Jenny just made us some new olive Billy bags. So I'm working on licorice twist. I've done it before, but the yarn we did it in before we don't have right now. And I love this vest, and the picture doesn't do it justice. It has a high split hem. Well, none of the, here, this one might show it the best. Right here.
And you can adjust that too.
Yeah, you could just sew it because you do it in 2 pieces and then you sew that up there. So you could sew it more or less, but I'm looking forward to that, and I'm doing it in Mono's Sammy. And so it's coming along really well, and that's a DK. I think it calls for a sport, but Sammy is a thin DK. And so the pattern is really pretty
stitch definition of that.
easy to remember. All I needed to really do for what I was working on is, yes, and this is how this pattern's already been through one cycle, so it's really beat up, but is the highlighter tape. And because I knew I'll often say a piece will last the whole pattern, but just in case it didn't, rather than bring my tape dispenser, I just pulled off another piece and stuck it there in case I needed it later, because I'm just going up and down this situation right now. And yeah, I'll show you my other tools. So this one didn't need a lot of extra stuff. I've just got a handy tool in here. Oh wait, I do have, the Awesome tool. I got the Awesome tool in here. I like to use this for my stitch stopper because it's one thing and I don't have to, it's easier to find instead of the cute little things that I usually like to use. And if for any reason TSA is going to be worried about needles, like this is a little more mysterious what's going on there. But I did have my work until tape ready that, I have to go 8 inches. I knew I was nowhere near that, but soon that'll start happening and I'll have this hanging on there. So I could do that. So those were the only extra little notions that I had in here for that one.
Do we want to talk about Manos?
Yeah, that's a good time to talk about Manos.
Yeah.
So Manos was our first meeting. We went to go talk to Lisa, our distributor at Manos, and what did we find that we were super excited about? It was a great way to start the show.
We weren't really even sure. We were going to talk about yarns that we already carried, see if there was new colors, and we walked in and it was like, look at this sample, look at that sample.
Yeah.
And
they had the best samples.
They had the best samples. There were 3 that we definitely want to try to bring in the shop, but samples, classes or...
Yeah, and we, let's see, I'm
really
getting my little list here. We placed orders with 16 vendors, at least.
Wow.
And with Manos, we ordered more Fino. Both of us have our eye on a sweater that we want to make, that we know you will want to make too, and it needs a sticky, non-superwash fingering yarn. And because this also has Fino silk in it, it's going to be lovely.
Yes.
But because we were right there but we need it to be more solid like these are, because we were right there, Lisa could help us pick out which ones were most solid. And the reason it needs to be sticky is because it sticks. We're going to cut this one. Melissa's going to cut one too. So we'll show you more about that as we go on.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah. And then we also ordered worsted.
Mm-hmm. There was one sweater in there that was just lovely.
Yeah.
A plaid. We'll talk about that some more too. But
the pattern's not out yet, so we can't show you the picture.
Right. And so we got yarn. It was worsted, which at first I was like, worsted, it's kind of heavy. But when I felt the sweater, it felt very lofty, and found out that it was non-superwash. So we got some non-superwash, and the fun part about it was the colors. So she had some variegated colors, which is really
unusual and non-superwash,
and some brighter colors. So we got really excited about that. So we're gonna bring some back.
And over time, we'll start talking more about why non-superwash matters. As you can imagine, the topic constantly was the tariff situation at market and how that fits in with superwash. Is we've learned that a lot of the yarns, even though we're ordering them from our local dyers, the superwash process, a lot of that happens overseas, and particularly in countries that right now have super high tariffs. So, and trying to get the best deal for you all, looking at places where those extra costs enter into the supply chain, we were trying to find yarns where they didn't. Mm-hmm. And met a need. So to find this right out of the gate
it was
really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, then what else? What else did we find that you were really excited about?
I got really excited about some of the kits we found.
Okay.
Not
Which one
even
do you remember?
Not even knitting kits.
Yeah.
So I got to sample some of the felting. They had a sample. I'm like, hey, can I try this? Because we have them. I talk about it, but I've never done it. So that was cool to do it. And we got some fun stuff. And then the other one was the
punch needle.
That's punch needle.
Yeah.
Punch needle. That was very satisfying. So I think when one of those comes in, I think I'll do one of those and have a sample for the shop. So that was fun. But we got some really fun knitting kits as well.
Yeah.
And crochet kits, actually.
Yes.
No, I'm going back in my head at what we did.
And we want to thank Maddie Curte told us to go to Urban Acres for the punch needle.
Yes.
And so we've had them before, but this show also has a lot of quilting in it, which is lovely. But we have to pace ourselves, and we're not quilters or buying for quilting, so we don't go in those sections. So Maddie told us to go over there.
Which we might not have gone.
Yeah, and so they had even more designs than we'd ever seen, so that was a lot of fun. And then Felton Sky is who we got. We ordered mushrooms and a cute little snail, like 3D.
Yes. The frog was the felting, right? The frog.
Yeah. And Joseph in Hawaii buys a lot of our felting stuff from us. Thank you, Joseph. And we were specifically thinking of you while we were buying some little scenes and stuff like that. But we have an Appalachian Baby trunk show scheduled for July that has Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod, 3 baby sweaters in blue, navy, and striped. That's super cute with little bonnets.
Yeah, very cute.
All Appalachian cotton, organic.
Yeah.
Great yarn. And then we went to Hardy Craft and ordered really cute crochet kits. We've had their knitted doll kits, and we ordered a few of those because they have a dachshund that was really cute. But they had these cute little crochet keychains.
Yes.
You love those.
Those were really cute.
Yeah. Strawberry, 3 peas in a pod.
Yeah.
And Carolina set us on a mission to find a better price point fingering yarn for those like her, millennials, that want to make a fingering sweater because she wants a lightweight sweater, but the hand-dyeds are lovely, but are more that she can fork out. We get that. So she sent us on a mission, and we found some with, we found Admiral, and it was really great because we picked the colors, but we texted her, and she had looked up done the research on the color of the year, and we needed to have this, so we went back over, and I'm not going to pronounce it right, but Chopel. Yeah. It's a beautiful yarn. They come in these footballs, really good price. You can use it for socks too, nylon, merino wool, bright colors. So we're really looking forward to that coming, and we're just appreciative that our team has diverse interests and sends us off on missions. Okay, here's a knit kit that we found. The hat, the Dream in Color hat that you were really excited. See, look at her face, right?
We were in this booth, and there was a lot going on, and Cadence was talking, and I'm looking, I'm like, ooh.
The Delaque booth. They share with the Delaque booth, so we got some cool news on that front too.
And it was low. I don't even know how I saw it, and I picked it up, and I'm like, I gotta find out more about this hat. And it was almost like a musselburgh, a tube, but it wasn't the musselburgh pattern, because you do a provisional cast on, and you knit one way, this way, and that way, and the same skein. I'm gonna do this one because I'm not sure, but the same skein did 2 different patterns, which was really cool. So we got that.
Yeah, not just the stitch pattern was different, but the way the yarn striped it and then I don't know.
Yeah.
Really cool. So we ordered kits for that. And while we were at the Delaque, we were talking about, I don't have an O-Snap bag with me right now. We do our custom O-Snap bag, this one. So we were talking to them about the next batch, we can put a wristlet on it. That was really cool.
That was very exciting.
We think this is our second custom one. Our first one also had different color trim. Now that we ask for it, they show that as an option. And then we can get the bigger sweater size ones custom for us.
Yes.
And then even a mesh tote. So our minds were like, we're super excited. It was not the design, the structure is the same, but the colors and what we put on it is going to be all fuzzy goat.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't wait for that. So that's what we spent a lot of time in the Delaque booth.
Can I show this project?
Yeah. Now that we got it out, absolutely.
Yeah. So this one I started. I see. I put my markers in there.
Yeah.
I was getting frustrated on the plane. I didn't have my markers.
Did you start that at dinner? When we were at dinner?
No, maybe breakfast.
Okay.
Maybe breakfast. Anyway, this is super, super fun. You all, can you see it?
That's the local yarn shop pattern that we highlighted.
Oh, I don't have it in here.
She's a Ukrainian designer.
What's starting with F?
Filoli.
Something like that, yeah. But anyway, it's really
We sold
fun.
a lot of them on local yarn shop day.
And
yeah.
I got one of Alicia's pairs. Is
Yes,
that what you call it?
which we still have
We
a
still
few
have.
of.
Not in this color because all of them were pretty much
Yeah.
singles. But this is her silk. So if you are interested and want to see colors together, text us or whatever. We'll be happy to send you pictures. But very satisfying project, I have to say, because you were surprised I was knitting this on the plane.
Yeah.
Not a sweater. Anyway, really fun.
We went to reason I asked about dinner is we went to dinner with
Yes.
Katie and Marianne of Katrinkles. They asked us to go to dinner with them. We were so flattered. I mean, I can't imagine that they had any. They're talking in their booth all day long.
Any energy, right?
Yeah, but they just wanted to see what we wanted in the store, what
that's
feedback we had for them. Katie and Marianne, we just fascinated with their process. I mean,
And how they got started.
oh my
The
gosh,
whole,
Katie has these massive machines that does this laser printing. The people she employs,
Yeah. Her
the
husband
benefits,
works-
yeah.
Yeah.
very impressive. I mean, we do talk about our girl made products, but this was
Very.
she was on it.
Yeah.
It was,
It was
really
neat.
really cool. The other project that I brought, which I only worked on the plane because it's bigger. It's a sweater, and it's my Nola, and I had some things I had to get ready for traveling. So because I'm knitting it flat, I'm definitely using one of these cable locks to keep the stitches all close up on the needles. So that's been really handy, having that. I've got my needle keeper here, but I'm doing buttonholes. Excuse me, I got fluffies in my nose. You do the buttonholes as you go across, and so you all probably know this. I've never done this before, and I feel like I came up with something like,
I think she
oh
did.
my gosh. Okay, so you do the buttonhole on that row, and then you go across to the other side, and you're still on that same row. So when I get to that row, that's where I would have sewn the button, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But I go ahead and put one of these removable markers, so now I know that's exactly where that button needs to go. That's the same row. Instead of guessing and then wondering, and then I sew it on and it's wonky. I'm like, oh my gosh. So there's there's my opening. Can you see them there? Across there, all ready to go for my buttons. Now the first buttonhole I did, I could not wait to put my button on. So here's my button. I even had to take a picture and send it to Melissa early on Sunday morning.
We're both making the sweater.
Yeah,
And we both
it's got intarsia
had to.
flowers.
She wanted you to do 3 buttonholes in the body,
Mhm.
and both of us, I think, because our rows are a little shorter, we're going to have to do more than that, probably 4. And then
I'm going to end up with 5 I
total
believe.
or 5 in the body.
5 total.
Yeah, 5 total. I'm probably end up with 5 total too. So 4 in the body and then 1 more in the ribbing on the bottom. Just for anybody that's making it, don't be alarmed, because otherwise it was going to be like, right?
Yeah, it's going to be more crop. So
Very
so
croppy.
it's got 3 inches of ribbing, and it has intarsia in the sleeves. And I'm using our Amalia. See, I just
I know.
we're a little foggy today.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't wait to get done with the ribbing.
To get back to the sleeves.
I'll probably go ahead and put my buttons on. Also, because it's easier when the sweater's more contained, I can button it up and then get back to the sleeves. And then you do the sleeves flat after that, and it'll be easier because I won't be doing 2 sleeves at the same time, meaning I have a yellow bobbin on each one. I'll just be doing the one as it.
So let me ask you,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question
Mhm.
about this. So when you get to the next flower,
Yes.
you will do intarsia? How
Mhm.
many colors? With the yellow?
My next color,
And then-
my next flower is
well,
going to be green. I'm swapping the
Green.
colors.
Okay, so green for the flower. And then what about this situation? Can y'all see right here?
So there is more color in the middle.
So we
Yes,
do
that is a
different
good
stitch?
question about that. Okay,
All of
I
them?
had done this whole thing by doing that with intarsia. So I had a yellow bobbin, a white bobbin, a green bobbin.
A white bobbin.
Yeah, and then the same thing over here.
A lot of
I had to
bobbins.
send her a picture of that too. Then I got that far, split for my sleeves, was doing things in the shop, getting ready at night, so I wasn't knitting on it anymore. But then Melissa started talking about what is duplicate stitch, and so I did it on a little piece of my gauge swatch that I have over there to show her, and it was so much neater than my bobbin situation that was going on here. I actually ripped back, and in the ripping back and all those bobbins, I ripped back further than I could have stopped there, but I ripped back further because I could never figure out exactly what row I was on. So I got clean before that and just did that. I mean, it's so motivating. That really only took like a night and a half.
Which color?
And then I went back and duplicate stitched
the green and the white?
the green and the white.
Okay.
Yes. So I just did a yellow flower
Yep.
and duplicate stitched, and we'll do a little video when we get better at this, of the green. I think I did the green first because it was in the middle,
Right. Okay.
and then went around on the white.
So I did not do
It
that
reminds
the
me of my
first set.
cross stitch days.
Yeah,
because you have to
it's-
look at the chart.
It's so much better. So that was smart to redo it. I didn't, but it's okay. The next sleeve, the next flowers on my sleeve, I'm going to do. I did duplicate stitch, but I didn't tear back. So mine's not going to be quite as clean, but that's okay.
So I had, so what I had with me are my removable stitch markers in here, and this bag was great. This, look at how soft this is.
I know,
Like it just
does,
really
yeah.
gets. This is the what do we call this thing?
Mesh
Yarn bag. I'll
Yeah.
look. We'll have it all linked up. But this yarn, we want when I'm using it, wind it up by hand, because we don't want to put it on the ball winder and stretch out the very chain feature that we like. But this could roll down a plain aisle in a hot minute, and I am usually all things, around me anyway. I lose my earbud thing, all kinds of stuff. So this gave me some peace of mind. It was in here. So, I mean, it's handy at home too, but at home you're not worried about it rolling, into somebody else's who knows what. And so that was really great, and I could keep that here. It's not going to roll anywhere. And then what else did I have in here? I have my pattern. Oh, I want to show you. This is my little Notion tin. So I've got our dream box, and inside is this. So that's where I have my tapestry needle is in there if I felt like sewing on my buttons.
Gotcha. Oh,
So it fits in there. It fits in there. And my markers and my extra markers and more of those removable markers. I got a couple extras of those in there. And so I just have to be careful when I'm opening up my plane. I'm like this, and I put it back down, and I quickly put it back in my bag so it doesn't go anywhere like that. And then I've got, you were asking me if I had an awesome tool.
Yeah,
I always got like 3 of them in here because I don't want to lose one. So I only brought these 2 projects. Those were my only 2 projects. This was mostly in my plane. I thought I would also work on it in the hotel at night, but by the time I did other work-related stuff, I was ready to go to bed.
Well, I'll just show y'all. I, on the other hand, brought 6
Yes.
projects. 6. That was more than I needed. But I really do get afraid that I'm gonna get bored on something or get to a point where I'm like, I can't work on that here kind of thing. So I do like to have options. I would have 3 in the plane with me, mostly because I didn't have room in the suitcase. I mean, but I did. I started this one.
I don't even have 6 projects going right now. But after market, I have a list now of whims, working minds.
Oh, I have a lot of those.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called because I don't have the whole pattern with me. This is the fade. What was it called?
Yeah, but I want to show them this because
Yeah.
I've done fades before where I just kind of alternate it randomly, but look how plotted out that fade is. I mean, it's worth buying this
29 rows,
pattern
yeah.
when Melissa figures out what it is. It's worth buying the pattern just for the fade recipe so that you could use that in other things too.
Yeah,
Isn't
this
that
is
cool?
the wool pine. You probably
Yeah.
know the name of it. I know I've talked about it. So I have started. So I it's done flat, and then I join in the round, and the colors. I didn't want it to be really obvious. I've only done a couple rows. You can't even see it probably. A couple rows of the fade. But let me just show you what I'm going to. So this is main color, and so this is my next fade.
This is Knitwise poolside. And I haven't assessed, but I know that there's still more knitwise, lots of knitwise. You can't see me pointing over there.
And this is Sweet Georgia, which we did. Yeah.
Oh yes, that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, so that's what I have in here. Yeah. I can't believe I can't remember the name of this.
I brought this over just to say, one of the first things we did was we went to go see Lemonwood, who makes our new mini minder here, and they have some accessories that we're going to talk to them about. But we just want to tell them what a great job they did on our mini minder.
Yeah,
so,
her son is the one that did
yeah,
it.
he does it. He cuts them, he designs them. We sent the logo when he laid it out. So we just wanted to say thank you to them, and that was really cool. It's cool to meet in person the makers of our things. It's probably how you all feel when you get to come in and meet us. We saw Laura Dobratz, and I so regret not taking her picture. She writes, I mean, not only is she an amazing girl boss, she runs for Pearls and A Good Yarn, and she's the mom of Emma's Yarns, but she also writes our Box of Goats patterns and all of that. So we ran into Laura Dobratz, and Marcy of Bad Sheep came up. Her and Alex said hello, and I so regret not taking her picture too. Market is sensory overload.
It really is.
And I'm not good at thinking of those things. But Marcy's going to be here in less than a month now. So we're really excited about that too. But we went, and Kara, I think Kara's watching, Kara made a special note to ask us to go say hi to Janice at Queen City, and we are so glad that we did. Mm-hmm. We came up with some plans for Janice to visit Queen City, and she's just right there in Charlotte. I mean, it's not like just right there. How long a drive is that? 7 hours. But it's in the South. It's closer than most. And I wrote it down. We got a sport weight yarn. Amazing colors. Also non-superwash.
Also non-superwash. And we're kind of excited about it because it could probably go, depending on your pattern, a DK, or it can go fingering or sport. So that weight is kind of nice because it can jog over.
And I don't want you to be nervous and think, oh my gosh, they're getting a bunch of itchy yarn.
No,
we have a very high bar for choosing your yarn, and an even higher bar if we're going for non-superwash.
And it was interesting because we asked them often, like when we felt the sweater, hey, because it was soft, right? Was this blocked? Oh yeah, blocking really helps soften up the non-superwash.
And you can really block it and not worry about it growing like you do with superwash. Yeah. So all of that. Yeah. So Janice had just stunning colors. I think we picked 20 colors. Yeah. And I have to go through my notes and make sense of it, but I have something written down here in July. So maybe it's coming in July. Yeah. But we're also going to talk to her about coming to visit and all sorts of things. So Kara, oh, there you are. Yes, thank you. We had a really good time with Janice. We made a point to go see her when our brain was fresh. Yeah. Thank you. And Kara, you'll have to come down and visit when Janice is here too. Right. I'm wearing my uncommon thread. This is Cocoon because we went to go see CC. Yeah. Just C. SEE, and her name is CE. We went to go see C. And we both were wearing it. We both wore it. In fact, we sent our friends, Sarah, got to visit with Sarah of Not Another Hat, and Janet of String Theory. They also went to go visit C also. And so we ordered more of this because I don't think we hardly have any left.
And didn't C say, that she hadn't seen that yarn knit up in a garment yet?
Right.
And we were both wearing garments. Yeah. It was kind of funny. Yeah.
So it was cold. I was wearing mine with a shirt under it, but today I'm glad not to. So that's a huge, exciting order. And probably when I'm looking over our list, probably our most international. That, and we ordered some amazing redesigned bags for you all too, from Denmark.
And we talked about Sweet Georgia.
No, we have not. Oh. So we also went to go see. That was one of the highlights.
That was a highlight, and we have to do that because when we see her booth, we're like, yes, we want it all, all of it, all of her colors, and so we have to go there fresh.
And she does a very specific palette.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it all works together. And talk about a fade you could do a they had a really great item in the in a fashion show. So we ordered kits for that shawl in the fashion show. We have the flaxen fine, which is a fingering.
Oh yeah.
And you went into the booth ready to get flaxen DK.
Yes, I just felt like.
And what did they tell you?
They told us they were discontinuing it. It wasn't a popular base, and I said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Why?" I don't know. I feel like for here, our climate, you know, it is a linen silk, perfect. It's DK, which will knit up faster than a fingering, and you can wear it longer. Like you know, in this situation, in our climate. So she said, well, we would bring it back for y'all, so we're going to
It's going to be a Fuzzy Goat exclusive. Sweet Georgia Yarns, Flaxen DK.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So we're excited about that coming up.
We bought some more Tough Love sock from them. The mohair DK, which is really pretty. We ordered that too. And then we parsed that out like that we have coming in the fall. The flaxen we have coming sooner. But at least that was what we think we did. We have to go back and go through everything. 29 Bridges. We have 29 Bridges pop up here in the store, and we went to go see Mary at 29 Bridges and thanked her for letting us have samples while she also needed samples at Market. Right. She had a really pretty booth.
Beautiful.
And she had a linen merino fingering that we ordered.
Yes.
Do you remember that? It's so long ago. It was like the first thing we ordered.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be nice.
Yeah. So that was really beautiful in her beautiful colors. So that's where it's really helpful, because sometimes linen doesn't take the colors the same way, but we could see Mary's booth.
And feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it.
I also talked to Mary of 29 Bridges, and I realized that she also was one of our dyers that has a full-time job, and I said that to her, and she said, yes, but not anymore. She was a medical librarian. I said, you're a medical librarian, and that's what she said. She was a medical librarian for the FDA, and so she has been cut. So all the more reason that we're going to love on 29 Bridges.
And we love 29 Bridges.
Yes, so it's not hard.
Yeah.
Not hard at all. And we made a new friend with Treasure Goddess.
Yes.
I have my sample skein right here.
Mine.
Bamboo linen.
And the very bright colors.
Yeah,
as well.
so you see the nice glow on it. It won't be this shiny knit up because the light's hitting this all on the same plane, so when you have stitches it won't be, but it's 70% bamboo and 30% linen and 437 yards.
Yeah.
The name of this color is But Why Is the Rum Gone? She wears a pirate hat. She's really funny. I love that this bamboo has some linen in it, because all bamboo is so slippery, so hard to work with, so hard to wind up. But this has, I'm just going to say, like a little bit of tooth to it, a little bit of grab. And we got a skein to start playing with and stuff, so that's really fun. And I think that's going to come sooner than later.
Okay.
What else do you think that we got that we haven't talked about yet? I got some in here.
We got some kits for Christmas in July.
Oh yeah.
And that was really funny, because we ended up going up and down this aisle many times before I realized what we were looking for. And so those are going to be fun. So there'll be 3, 4.
We got a stocking and two
stockings.
Oh yes, 2 stocking colors.
Yeah.
A fingering hat and a bulky hat. It's going to be cute.
It's going to be really cute. Trust us.
We spent a lot of times with our friends Earth in there, coming up with kits and stuff like that. Got some new color combinations for the Oh So Chic cowl. Met the pattern designer of the Oh So Chic cowl, and saw several of our bakers that we got to meet in person. Dye Mad Yarns, who's been dyeing yarns for our Y'all Means All box. So that was really great to be able to see them in person. And some of the designers that are like going in our Wicked box and our next Y'all Means All box, so we can't talk about those just yet. And then we went to Keenan. We probably went back and forth and spent a lot of time.
And they had
in Keenan hand-dyed yarn. Okay, I don't know. We've got these kits, but there's not a picture, so I don't. We just pulled these out of our suitcase, so I'm just gonna be able to show you the color, and we'll have pictures later once we get it up online.
And this is
so it's a cowl, and then it had this really pretty yellow sun in the middle of it, and then, which was intarsia. We never even used that word. We started knitting on the NOLA, and then we go to market, and now it's like all over the place. So we're just a little bit ahead of the curve.
We're leaning into it a little bit.
Yeah. So this is in the middle of it, and then it has like little stamens, little knitting needle looking flower things that come out of it. And they give you some, this is how to do the embroidery over it. So she gives you some cool stuff for that. But we weren't prepared we don't have our picture yet, so we can't really show you that. So I'll have to put that back together. What else? I'm looking at our list. I think those are all the things that we ordered. A few things we went looking for, but we didn't find. And,
we're gonna still look.
We did play with a new device. We're seriously considering a knitting machine. Or two. We were a little on the fence, then we played with it. I have a little video, Melissa doing it. And then when we were in the Sweet Georgia booth, and she was showing, she has these amazing swatches that are this big of how it all knits up. It was really great. And so we said, do you use a knitting machine for that? And they were like, oh, let us tell you. And so Felicia of Sweet Georgia Yarns, so if she uses a knitting machine, and she just couldn't say enough cool things about it.
Yeah.
So we may be going into that. We're seriously looking into it. Yeah.
I think we
can. Yeah.
And you could make something both hand knit and using the machine.
Yeah. So you could still do we were talking to Felicia about that. Can you do all the fun stuff up here and then do the body on the machine? So if we get it, you can know that we feel good about it and that we're excited about trying it.
Research,
yeah. In fact, we've already started doing research on it, and we even got the vendor to give us names of other shops that carry it so we can find all that out. But, I mean, once Felicia of Sweet Georgia said that, and she has a lot of videos on that too, that was like, so exciting. That and the Delaque thing. I mean, I'm excited about all the yarns, but I get super excited when we try something brand new.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Did you go through all your projects?
Well, I just have this one. I should have brought this out when you were talking about Pino. This is the pleated top. I did get to work on this quite a bit. I think. And
this is a good example of one that has a lot of variation in it.
Yes.
Which wouldn't work for the project we have in mind.
Correct.
But it's beautiful like that.
Yeah,
with the pleats.
Yeah.
I mean, so I know it's bunched on her needle, but it really is pleating.
So that's it.
All right. Well, thank you all for sticking with us. Look at you guys are still watching. We just rambled on about it. We just unpacked our bag and read through our list and stuff like that. But we go to market because we go for you. So we are so lucky to get to go with you. I couldn't have done it. Not have done it without you.
I don't know how anybody does about themselves.
So we love that we got to go shopping for you, and we're super excited about what we brought in. And it's really great to be able to work with people that have the same mission you do of bringing good and joy to the world and doing it ethically. You know, like it wasn't like you felt like you were compromising your values or anything. And even when we're walking into this, 5,000 people were there. It was mostly women making a living with yarn. I mean, when you just think about it, it's just, we think we're in this little bubble doing this little niche thing, but when you see that many people and all of those vendors who came to sell to us, to you, what you and we do is a big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, a little corny, but sometimes I like to take a notice in what we're doing. Well, we are happy to keep the conversation going through texts, emails, all of that. Hey, Brenda, yes, we met Maddie, in which we probably wouldn't have even known about Maddie if it wasn't for you as well, and vice versa. So we love it that you guys all tell us, too, who to go search out and find, because we're down here in Thomasville. Who do we know until you tell us? All right. We're going to try to make some links for all this stuff. So thank you very much. Thank you, Connie, for saying that. Bye-bye.